fellow listeners. It's Sunday, so you know what time it is. It's time for another point of view. It's a special Sunday, too. More on that shortly. First, though, I have to inform you as to why there is a very strong likelihood that nature hates us. I'm starting to think this segment is going to become a regular thing. You'd think that the world could go 1 week without some sort of vicious animal attack or natural disaster occurring and resulting in a human casualty, but apparently that isn't the case. So, what dastardly event or creature has sparked my ire this week, you might be wondering. The answer is wildfires. Fire. From the moment humans figured out how to create it, and you would have to guess soon after attempted to touch it and realized, ow, that burns. Fire has had a precarious relationship with humanity. Without fire being readily available to us, we wouldn't be able to enjoy some pretty nice things. Romantic candlelit dinner. How do you light those candles? Fire. Getting cozy and warm by the fireplace with your significant other on a cold winter evening? Not possible without fire. Celebrating the new year with a kiss with a special someone? What's normally lighting the night sky to signal in said new year? Fireworks, which again, not possible without fire. Cooking a meal for two? Gonna need a little fire. Alright, I think you get the idea. That said, for all the good things fire has done for us, we need to understand that fire is also a destructive force which we should never take lightly. In a matter of hours, a campfire in the woods not properly contained can burn down a large section of forest. Irresponsibly playing with matches can lead to you finding yourself involuntarily homeless. Don't play with fire. Why am I talking about the destructive force of fire, some of you might be asking? Well, tragedy struck this past week when wildfires devastated 4 communities in Alberta, Canada. Neighborhoods like the ones in Fort McMurray were utterly destroyed in the path of wildfire, reducing homes and properties to rubble. Nearly 90,000 residents were displaced and forced to flee from their homes, and thus far, the fire has covered over 200,000 acres of land, and due to there being oil sands in the area, it's expected to continue for more days. Truly, this is a sad event. Fortunately, from what has been reported thus far, there have been no deaths due to the wildfires, just close calls during evacuation. Regardless, though, it's hard just imagining what it must feel like. How in a moment, everything you knew is burned away and goes up in smoke. And you have to pick up the pieces and start over. To the victims of this wildfire, please know that I sincerely hope the recovery and rebuilding process starts as soon as reasonably possible. And I encourage you to stay strong and rise up from the ashes. Okay, let's move on to a segment that I haven't done since last season. Everybody, it's time for us to honor some heroes. Today's heroes of focus, without a doubt, are truly worthy of praise. They do what they do 365 days a year and have to be ready for anything. And these heroes go by the name of, simply, Mom. Now, I'm sure now every listener on here has a good relationship with their mom, and I'm aware that there are some individuals who, through deplorable actions, have shown they shouldn't be mothers. But this segment isn't honoring them. It's honoring the women who have ever had to work 40 hours a week at their job just to go home and find themselves helping their child or children whatever the case might be, with schoolwork or general errands, and making sure they're well fed, properly clothed, and in good health. It's honoring the women who have ever had to put their professional career on hold to stay at home and look after their sons and or daughters. It's honoring the women who have ever had to willingly accept having to occasionally give up a good night's rest because their child was sick, or their infant was crying, or something of that sort. It's honoring the women who on a weekday morning have ever had to get their children out of bed and ready for school, which, depending on the child, can be a hassle, I would imagine. It's honoring the women whose children have all grown up and flown the nest, because that's also tough. It's honoring the women who, for a good 9 months, more or less, had to deal with all the cravings, cramps, morning sickness, you name it, while carrying you in their womb. And yeah, they'll be sure to remind you of that in case you ever forget. But if they're not around to remind you, I figured I'd remind you anyways. But yeah, this segment's for all the moms out there. Thank you for all the sacrifices you've made, big and small. And enjoy your special day. You all deserve it. On a related note, actually, while we're on the subject of moms, I thought I'd dedicate a little something to mine. So, here's a recommendation. Today's recommendation is a small poem I stumbled upon. The poem is called To My Dearest Mother by Kirsten Rollander. And like I have with other poems this season, I'm going to read it out loud. So yeah, this one's for you, Mom. My mother is a special part of all that's cherished in my heart. She is my pearl, my soul, my mate. She is the one to make life great. She is an angel without the wings, who makes life special with the littlest things. Whenever I'm in need of love, she's there from the heavens above. Whenever I'm in need of a shoulder, there's no one as devoted as my mother. Her presence and love have always been there. Everything in her nature is to only care. With every soft hug and kiss, the world seems more beautiful and blessed. I'm sorry for all the times I caused you pain, but after these brief storms, my love still remains. I love you so much, I will love you forever. I wrote your name on my heart, and it will stay there forever and ever. I think that's as good a way as any to end today's installment. So, listeners, Happy Mother's Day. See you next week.
Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say. Mother, Mother, can you keep them in the dark for a while? Can you hide them from the wedding world? Oh, Mother, Mother, tell your children not to hold my hand. Tell your children not to understand. Oh, Mother.
Love you, Mom! Even if you don't listen to my show because you don't know how to find it on YouTube.